Hello, today I've got my favorites and fails, and I have a pretty good mixture today of makeup, skincare, I've got a fragrance, I've got a body product, so let's jump right into it. Starting in the favorites category, we'll save the fails for the end. I want to talk about this freckle pen. Now, let me preface this by saying I am a biased reviewer of this because this freckle pen was a collaboration with my friend Rudy Berry and the brand Buble, but I don't normally like a freckle pen. I naturally have freckles, and I find that most freckle pens don't actually look like freckles until I tried this one. This is the most natural freckle pen out there. I'm so impressed with it. I'm wearing it today. I just have a few on my nose and right here, and I have been wearing this most days. Now, I naturally have some freckles, but I feel like I have way less freckles now than I did a few years ago. Like when I see older photos and videos of myself before I was regularly applying sunscreen / using tretinoin, I used to have a lot of freckles in here. Now I really don't have that many. I have like some you can see up close, especially if I'm out in the sun, but I miss my freckles sometimes. And that's why this has been so much fun for me, because this genuinely looks like actual freckles. Now, I feel like there is a way to do it, because the first time I applied this, I didn't really like it. And I feel like there was a bit of a learning curve, but now that I know how to use it properly, I think they look incredibly realistic. So I think the first thing that makes it so realistic is the applicator. Most other freckle pens, like I've used Freck, I've used the one from Lottie London, those both have a brush tip. And when you apply that, it doesn't really look like a freckle. Whereas this is like an actual pen, and then it comes to this rounded point. So you can adjust the shape of the freckle. You can do it a little bit bigger, you can do it a little bit smaller. And you wanna start on your nose. Do a couple, and then immediately, before it is even set for like a second, immediately tap it out. I think that's kind of the key with faux freckles. You don't want the product to sit on the skin and start to dry down, because you want it to have almost that sheerness to it the way an actual freckle does. So ever since I started applying it like that, starting on my nose and then applying a few out this direction, I love the way this looks. I have asked so many people in person, like, can you tell I'm wearing fake freckles right now? And every single time they've been like, oh no, I thought those were your real freckles. And I always ask, like if I was wearing Freck, or I was using the Lottie London freckle pen, or I've tried just drawing freckles with like eyeshadow or eyebrow products. Any other time, I always still ask people, can you tell these freckles are real? Or can you tell these freckles are fake? And they always say, yeah, girl, those look fake. This is the only product where I've had people say, no, I thought those were your real freckles. So huge congrats to Rudy. They nailed this. This is such a good collaboration. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a fake freckle product. Okay, I have a throwback favorite. This is something I've talked about before. This is not new, but I have really fallen back in love with it lately, and it is the bronzer stick from Merit, okay? This I'm pretty sure I talked about in my 2022 favorites of the year. I have this in the lightest shade, and it is like my perfect bronzer tone, and it is like the perfect undertone. I think that's what makes it so wonderful, because it genuinely looks like you were kissed from the sun. The formula is so creamy and emollient. But what I've been doing lately, I've been using a very dense brush to apply this. So this brush is from Jones Road. It's called the Everything brush. And I just like taking a little bit of this and like tapping it out. Sometimes I'll wear this as my only bronzer. Sometimes I'll wear it as step one and then apply a powder bronzer over top. But this is my favorite cream bronzer. Well, aside from the $6 Makeup Revolution one that I talk about all the time. But this has been on such heavy rotation for me lately. I have applied this almost every single time I've done my makeup recently. I think it is so effortless to use. It looks skin-like. It blends out well. It's not new to me, but it is like a brand new favorite. It's like I've fallen back in love with it. Let me pop over to a body care product. I feel like I don't talk as much about this type of product, but I wanted to give this a shout out. It's from Kapari. This is called their Body Bumps Be Gone. It has 10% AHA, and it's kind of intended for like KP, if you get that. So those can be like the little red bumps on the back of your arms. Sometimes I get those, but not so much to the point where I feel like I'm the right person to review this for that. I like using this just to exfoliate my body. Especially, I feel like I get strawberry legs when I shave my legs. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little red dots. And I was looking into that recently, like how to help with that. And I've heard any type of exfoliating, whether that's with chemical exfoliating products or physically exfoliating, can help. So I've been getting more into that, trying to see if I notice a difference. And with this, I do. So I've been planning like, okay, if I know I'm gonna shave my legs tomorrow, I will use the scrub tonight. Also though, even if you're not trying to work on something like that, it's just such a great body scrub. It leaves your skin like baby smooth. Oh my goodness. Especially if you self-tan and you need to like scrub off a tan to put a new one on. This is a great product to do that. And I don't even normally like a body scrub like this. Actually, most body scrubs I've used, I kind of hate. I find that most of them don't have enough like fine grit to them to actually like kind of polish the skin. Typically, I like to use like an exfoliating glove. I have one that I've had for years from, I think it's from Tanlux. No, what's it called? It's pink. I'm gonna put the name of it on the screen. It's not coming to me, but I have a mitt that I normally use because I find those to be more effective. But this is truly one of the only body scrubs that I feel like has enough of that like sandy texture to it to actually really get in there and scrub and leave my skin feeling so smooth. So this has been a favorite for me in the shower. I highly recommend if you are looking for anything I just described. Okay, a lip balm. I know. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I didn't think this was going to be worth the hype when I first tried it, but I'm here to tell you it is. This is the Rhode Peptide Lip Treatment. I don't know what it is. I'm so into a little balm like this. I love having this in my purse. This is so hydrating. And I will say it's pretty similar. If you've tried the Summer Fridays formula, this is pretty similar in terms of texture, but almost a little bit more plush and a little bit more glossy. Like it just looks so pretty on the lips on its own. Like I know it's a hydrating lip product, but it still kind of looks like you're wearing a lip, you know? I love the smell. It's super intensely moisturizing. I think the packaging is cute. Also, I feel like it's slightly more affordably priced than a lot of the other high-end lip treatments like this. You know, it's less than the Sunday Riley one. Oh my gosh, you guys, I always do that. I just said that in the other video recently. I'm like, I, in my head, cannot keep separated Summer Fridays and Sunday Riley. Maybe it's just because they both have days of the week in them, but I think the price point of this is good. Yes, you do get less product per ounce though. So when you break it down, they're kind of similar. But overall, I've been using this so much, it has not left my purse. I definitely think it's worth the hype. Okay, something not hyped up that should be this skincare product. So this brand is at Target. It is called Undefined, and this is the R&R Hydro Jelly. So when we were in Charleston, this was in like our goodie bags, and it took me a while to try this, but I mean, well, you can see, I'm like more than halfway done with this. At this point, I've probably been using this for about 2 months now, quite consistently. Let me read you some of the key ingredients. Peptides, glycerin, ashwagandha, fermented tea, beta-glucan. Like this, if you're looking for a really wonderful hydrating serum, highly recommend this one, especially as someone with very dry skin. My skin has been loving this. The next morning, I just feel like it looks so plump and plush and hydrated and moisturized, and it is such a beautiful serum. Also, I like that this brand is a little bit more affordable. You know, it is sold at Target, but it's not quite a drugstore price point. This serum sits around $27, so definitely not drugstore price point for skincare, but also not as much as a high-end serum would run you. So highly recommend this. I think the packaging itself is so beautiful. You have this incredibly luxe glass bottle. I like the little purple cap to it. And I feel like this brand in general, very underrated. I've heard almost nothing about them, but you can buy it at Target. Perfect transition into another product that you can buy at Target, the Naturium sunscreen. Holy cow, this is worth the hype. I can't believe I waited so long to try it. This is called their Dew Glow Moisturizer SPF 50. They do have another sunscreen. Have not tried that yet, but this one, I was expecting this to not be so great because when you first pump this out, it looks like straight up paste on your hand. I was like, there's no way this is gonna blend out. This is not gonna sit well. This is going to leave a cast. No. It looks beautiful. I use this in lieu of moisturizer in the morning because this is already pretty hydrating on its own. Those are my favorite kinds of sunscreens. If I can just wear it, it like does both. It moisturizes and it gives me some sun protection. Perfect. Love that this is SPF 50. Does not pale. Makeup sits well over top of it. Doesn't look greasy. It literally applies just like you're applying a lotion. Doesn't have that sunscreen feel. Doesn't feel like heavy or oily. Truly one of the best sunscreens I've used. I have a fragrance favorite, and funny enough, I hated this at first and it really grew on me. I don't know. Let me know if you're this way with fragrances. I feel like I have to give it some time because there are a lot of scents that I did not like at first that really grew on me later, but I also have some that go the opposite way, you know? So this is from Billie Eilish's brand. They now have 2 fragrances. There's Eilish 1 and Eilish 2. This came out earlier this year and it was sent to me from Ulta actually. When I first sniffed this, I was like so excited about it because Eilish 1 I don't own, but I know what it smells like. It smells great. It's a very vanilla fragrance. So I was like, okay, what is this gonna be? I opened it up, I sniffed it, and I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. And obviously all scents are gender neutral, but at first I felt like this one smelled very masculine. I was like, I don't know that's something that I will wear. But I will say, the scent in the bottle is incredibly deceiving compared to the way it wears on the skin. In the bottle, it's very smoky, very peppery, but on the skin, I feel like I get more of the floral notes, more of the fruity notes. I think it just has this warmth to it. I think it's going to be perfect for fall, even though I'm not ready for fall, okay? I said it. I know everyone's so excited about fall. I know summer is like on her way out, but I'm so sad. And don't get me wrong, I love fall, but sometimes I just feel like we rush it. But if you're in that mode right now, if you're like feeling the fall things, you're ready to switch over to some fall scents, this is one I would recommend. Granted, I think this fragrance would wear well any season, but I definitely think it feels very fall appropriate to me. I love the packaging. I mean, it's bulky and honestly kind of hard to open. It's very extra, but it looks beautiful on a perfume tray. I had someone say recently, they're like, oh, I didn't know that was a perfume. I thought that was just like some decor on your vanity. So I love that. Now, talking about a few things I did not like, I want to start with this mascara from CoverGirl. This is their newest in the Lash Blast line. This is called the Cleantopia Mascara. I purchased mine in the brown shade, and I will start off by saying, if you're a brown mascara lover, this one, it doesn't look super brown on the lashes, okay? I'm wearing it today. You can see it looks just like a less intense black. I think it translates basically as black on the eyelashes. It's definitely not giving that really noticeable brown if that's the tone you're after. So you do have a natural bristle brush to this. That's not typically my preference. Hot take, I really prefer a rubber wand for mascara. I think I'm in the minority there, but my issue with this is that it just doesn't do a ton for my eyelashes. And don't get me wrong, I love a natural lash look. I have a lot of mascaras that just look natural that I love, but something about this, it looks natural, but it's not doing you any favors, It definitely doesn't look fluffy. Okay, here's what I would say. It's not that it looks natural. It just doesn't look intense. It's not gonna do a ton, but you're definitely gonna look at your eyelashes and be like, they're wearing mascara. Whereas I have some mascaras that look a bit more natural, but you would look at it and it's not super noticeable you have mascara on the lashes. They look lifted and fluffy and full. This, it looks like mascara, but my eyelashes are straight. There's a little bit of clumping going on. I find the formula to be very wet to the point that it doesn't hold a curl at all. If you curl your lashes before and apply this, they'll just unbend, go right back to being straight. I wanted to like this because I really do enjoy the original Lash Blast mascara in the orange tube. But if you're wanting to buy a CoverGirl mascara, just get that one. I think it's way better than this. Disappointment from Essence. I'm bummed because I love Essence, but the Positive Vibes Only Baked Highlighter is not very good. I really do enjoy a baked product, especially a baked highlight. I find that they can look very smooth on the skin. The formula in general of baked products tends to be a lot more light, which I enjoy. This, okay, I described it like this in another video, and I have to use this example again because I just think it's so accurate. If you were to just, feel this in the pan, it almost feels like you took your finger and rubbed it over some concrete or rubbed it over a brick. Like that is how dry and stiff that this feels in the pan. It's very sparkly on the skin. So because of that, I would almost recommend it if you want a pretty like duochrome highlighter. But not highlighter. Whoops, what am I saying? Eyeshadow. I would recommend this as eyeshadow. As a highlighter, I think it is very sparkly. It's kind of almost heavy on the skin. Like you can see it sitting there. You know what I mean? Doesn't look smooth. I will say though, it is intense. It has a really beautiful flip to it. So if you're looking for a blinding highlight that is intense and has a flip, you might enjoy this, but I just think the formula itself is a little bit too dry, and not in a good way. Like some baked products, I like the dryness of because they just look smooth on the skin. That's not the case with this one. Like, get their original highlights over this. That would be my recommendation. As always, I will have everything linked down below if you've tried any of these products. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.